Welcome to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Marie, a courage coach, creative soul, and adventure seeker. Since through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2019, I'm on a mission to help you embrace your most confident self so you can achieve your dreams too. If you're eager for deep conversations, big questions, and meaningful connections, join me on the quest to discovering how we can create a more magical and memorable life. Hello, nerds! How are you? I'm really good. As you listen to this, I am on vacation with my partner in Nicaragua, so I'm sure I'm having a lot of fun in the water, watching the sunset with my glass of wine, eating mangoes or whatever, excellent food I'm gonna be able to put my hands on down there. I made sure to record some podcast episodes for you before I left so that you wouldn't miss me while I'm away. Okay, so last week we talked about judging others. Now this week I want to talk about being judged by others and how it's not actually a problem at all. Now, before we jump in, I just want to acknowledge that sometimes people's judgments have an impact on your life. For example, we could also call them biases. The biases is just another word for judgment. And if someone has a bias against gay marriage, for example, and they have the power to pass a law that prevents gay people from getting married, and you're one of them, then their judgment ends up limiting what you can and cannot do in your life. Same thing if people are judgmental of trans folks and this turns into violence, then their judgment is a problem. But this is not what I want to talk about in today's episode. In today's episode, I want to focus on more lighthearted judgment, the kind of judgment that someone on the street or a family member or a parent at your kid's school might have that doesn't have an impact on what you can and cannot do in your life. They just have an opinion about who you are, what you do, and that's where it stops, okay? Like the petty judgments that we all make on a daily basis. That's what I want to focus on for today. Okay, so being judged by others or having the perception that others are judging you is only going to affect you if you think that there is truth in their judgment, okay? Let's say you just decided to dye your hair blue and you love your new blue hair. If someone judges you for your blue hair, you'll be like, so what? I love my hair. I don't understand why you're looking at me this way. My hair is awesome. Moving on. So when you feel triggered by someone else's judgment, it's just an opportunity for you to know where you lack belief in yourself. Okay, where you can strengthen your belief. So, for example, let's say you're a parent and you're playing with your kid or you're letting your kid do something and other parents are looking at you strangely. You might say, oh, those parents are judging me. But if it bothers you so much, it's probably because you feel uncertain about your parenting. Now, let's say you're going away for a through hike and you're leaving your partner behind. Or maybe you're going on a trip and you're going on your own, leaving your partner behind, and someone in your family tells you that it's a bad idea. They judge you for doing so. They make it mean that you're a bad partner. This is only going to get to you if you have doubts about whether or not you should leave. If you have doubts about whether or not you're a good partner. And one last example, let's say you have a messy house and you're afraid that people, that you cannot invite people over because they're going to judge the mess. And it's just highlighting that you think a messy home says something about your character. If you thought that you were doing your best as a parent and that your kid was completely fine, if you thought that you and your partner were figuring this out, that everything was all right between you and them, if you thought that having a messy home was no big deal, it just meant that there was humans living in that house, then you wouldn't be bothered by what other people think about this. Okay, we want to micromanage how other people think about us so we can think more highly of ourselves and feel better. And I'm going to say that again. We want the other parents to look up to us so that we can look up to ourselves and feel good about ourselves. We want other people to approve how we take care of our relationship, take care of our home, so that we can think, I'm a good partner, I'm a decent person, and feel good about ourselves. We are so quick to look into other people's eyes and try to guess what they think of our behavior. But the truth is that you can be 100% you and do what you do, and 10 people will have 10 wildly different thoughts about exactly the same thing. Okay, you could be letting your kid maybe climb a tree. One person might think this is such irresponsible parenting, and another person might think, oh my God, they're letting their kid experiment. That's beautiful. You might leave on a 6-month through hike and someone thinks, oh wow, that's dangerous. Like their partner might cheat on them. Their partner might break up with them. And someone else might think, wow, what an independent person. This is so inspiring. This gives me the permission to go do my own thing as well. And you might have a messy house. Someone comes to your house and thinks, ooh, that's gross. I wouldn't want to live here. And someone else might come to your house and think, oh my God, this place is so lively. I feel so comfortable being here. I feel like I can just be me, that I don't have to be like precious about how I speak and where I put my bag down. Same circumstances, completely different thoughts from different people. Because what people think about you and what you do doesn't say anything about you. It says everything about them and their view of the world. You can try to spend your energy influencing other people's thoughts, but I say that's not the best use of your precious juices. Instead, ask yourself, what do I believe about me? What do I believe about this thing that I feel judged on? How do I want to think about this? And get clear on what matters to you, instead of looking at other people's instruction manuals on how life should be lived. Get clear on your own manual. How do you want to raise your kids? What kind of parent do you want to be? What kind of partner do you want to be? What kind of atmosphere do you want in your home? There is no right way to be. That's what we've been raised to believe. Like, this is the right way to be. This is the wrong way to be. This is what being a good student is like. This is what being a bad student is like. But that's just not representative of reality. There's many different ways to be. So practice bringing this back to you. You're the only expert of your own journey. So try to resist going into victim mode when you feel judged. Instead, take it as an opportunity to get to know yourself, to strengthen your belief in who you are and what you do, and to advocate for what you believe. And also, this is an opportunity to have more empathy, because as we discussed last week, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, please go listen to it. When people are judging others, it's because they are not fulfilling their own needs in some way. They're not giving themselves the permission to be who they want to be. So the person who's out there judging you, there's something that they're not giving themselves. And we can have empathy for that. We can send them love and let them have the thoughts that they have about you without giving them too much importance. They're just words in someone else's brain based on their past experiences and their view of the world. So focus on creating a life that you love, on being someone that you are proud of. And when you do that, being judged and judging others is just going to fall away. You're no longer going to have time to worry about this. Okay? Focus on you and your satisfaction for your life. So that's it for this week. This was short and sweet. I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you all a wonderful week. Bye-bye. You just listened to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. Make sure to subscribe and to find me on Instagram at Self-Growth Nerds. If you want individual help developing the confidence to create a more meaningful and exciting life, visit selfgrowthnerds.com today to learn how. Finally, I want to thank my friend Etienne Galano for editing this, and I want to thank you, kind-hearted souls, for growing into your truest, most courageous selves every day and making this world a better, more beautiful place. My name is Marie, and I will talk to you next week.